Welcome to Gospel Diaries, a platform that offers a unique avenue for artists to share their stories, express their emotions, thoughts, and personal journeys. Today, we celebrate the holiday season with Ramon Perry. What's going on, Gospel Diaries? Listen, I'm back in the city, well, still in the city of Chicago, and this time I'm on the east side. I'm so grateful because I almost forgot how beautiful this city is. My God, and it's old, by the way. But if you look to my right and he's going to be on your left, man, he's no stranger to the Chicago gospel community. I'm excited to be in his home, y'all, in this holiday season. I'm talking about none other than Minister Ramon Perry. Can I shake your hand, please?
I'm nervous.
No, you're not.
It's fine.
Blessings on top of blessings. Listen, it's been a long time coming, and I wanted to wait for the right time to really sit with you and embrace you because you have really been a pillar in this community. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate your work. It has not gone unnoticed, and I'm ready to delve into your gospel diaries because we see you on our Facebook and on the radio, but a lot of people really don't know the background behind Ramon Perry. So I'm excited that we have this opportunity to delve into your gospel diaries. So how you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm doing well.
What's today's date?
It should be the 27th.
It's the 27th. So listen, it's November the 27th, 2024. This is actually Thanksgiving Eve, right?
It's the eve of Thanksgiving.
So I know I'm gonna get ready to go see my brother this evening in Iowa. So what are you doing this evening?
Cleaning up, getting ready to eat.
Are you cooking?
No.
Who
no,
cooking?
my aunt is cooking.
Really?
We're gonna be at Trinity Hospital. No,
Really?
I'm not-
You know what?
I'm
And
not-
Trinity is not too far.
It's directly around the corner.
And guess what? You'll be in safe hands. I think you will.
I can cook a little bit, but not taste.
Here, give us some of your fondest memories of the holiday season as a child.
Wow. So that pulls at some heartstrings, honestly, because as a child, then you think about all the people who are no longer here.
Mhm.
You know, I come from a family with my grandma and granddad and aunts and uncles and cousins. We had a table from here to there.
Really?
And everybody would come from near and far from our family and eat. My grandmother would cook and it was just a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. And when those pillars leave, it changes.
Yeah.
You know, so those are some fond memories when all of my family was here.
Yeah. And it just make me think about this. I was with Bishop Dan Willis and he said something, the way he articulated that, it really touched home. And a lot of times we talk about the good old days and things of that sort, but we need to stop and realize that we're living in the good old days right now and to embrace every second of your life. So I say that to say I'm embracing this moment right now.
Let's embrace it. Let's embrace it. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yes. Wait, don't bring Albertina Walker Spirit up.
I made it through.
Fiery thoughts.
Okay. And so have you.
Oh, yes, I have.
You know what? I come through the fire. I'm not going to
come through the flood. But look at me now. I'm not going to do that. I'm still here. Let's talk about some of your favorite Chicago gospel artists.
Oh, my God. Where do I begin? We can start with Ethel Holloway.
Really?
Because the church that I was born and raised in, we weren't calling them ministers of music at the time, but she was the first person I seen direct the choir, first female. So she was very influential in my beginning, along with her son, Sylvester Harper. That's where I learned.
Knew she had a son?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. He played the organ at our home church.
Okay.
And so they were the first people that I saw in my home church.
Okay.
So coming out of there.
And what was your home church?
Wesley Chapel.
Lord have mercy. I was just with, hold on. Who was I just? Larry Beasley.
Larry Beasley come out of Wesley Chapel.
Okay. So were you there with Reverend Stevens? So was it Stevens or Stevenson?
Bishop Stevenson.
Yes.
John Wesley Stevenson. I was born right after he died.
Okay.
Probably about a year after he passed away.
Wow, you were
But
there.
that was
Okay.
my home church.
Okay.
So me and Larry were crossing each other and didn't even know it. We was in the same building and didn't meet till up to years later. But yeah, that's my home church. But at one point, Wesley Chapel was probably the largest spiritual church on the west side, on par with First Deliverance. They were probably a little bit more Pentecostal and lively, but they were the largest spiritual church on the west side at that time.
Okay.
And so I'm used to that spiritual order, like First Church, Cosmopolitan, Redeemer Church of Christ, and the rest of the spiritual churches in the country. I come from that. So my first move was my aunt used to take me to the Diaries musical back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s?
Yeah, I would fall asleep.
Oh, you don't think? Oh, okay.
I would fall asleep, but as my musical inclination began to awaken, I remember Milton Bronson, and then of course Fellowship. Fellowship was one of the first churches that really influenced me to epic proportions, and I used to go there. And Luke Della has been she's just been so much of an influence. Reginald McCracken, that whole music staff, Reverend Evans. And then Cosmopolitan Church, Reverend Hayes. I can't even, that's another epic proportion church that just really influenced me greatly. So many Christian Tabernacle. I'm a product of the 60s and 70s. So Jubilee Showcase is where I learned about a lot of the artists, and some of them were right here in the city, and I didn't even know it.
Now, let me ask you this question. So, like in the, roughly 80s, of course, 90s, we had the VHS tapes where we can, record what was going on. But, was there any device or was there any method that you used to save memories as it relates to TV shows?
TV shows? Nothing more than the VHS.
Do you in 60s?
No. Okay. When we got VHS, but
so
TV shows,
you just had to keep it in your mind,
or you had the big tape recorder that you put next to the radio, and that's what I was doing at 9 o'clock, trying to do everything Steven Stewart did at Fellowship, and play his music, and Shelby at 11 o'clock and Charles Clancy. My radio would be right there, play and record. Everybody be quiet, that kind of.
What would you tell a younger Ramon Perry today?
Oh, wow. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Everything that was supposed to happen, it was going to happen.
Can I get some?
Everything that was supposed to happen, it was going to happen anyway. No need to rush. No need to be concerned about who else did what. What God had for you, it was going to happen in his divine permissive will anyway. And we don't always see it in the beginning. We're like, well, I got to do this. You're trying to accomplish so much. And you have to understand that some of those accomplishments won't take place until God's timing fulfills, and we're in a hurry, we're looking at everybody else. It's human. Well, why is so-and-so doing this? And when is my turn? Your turn may come later in life. Sometimes it get greater later. The latter shall be come on.
And what I want to do, I'm not a singer by far. I don't know. Are you a singer?
No. I can make you think I can sing, but I'm not a singer.
But what we're gonna listen. Actually, okay.
Don't be pulling no tricks. No. I already see where this trying to go. I'm not doing that with you.
Listen. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Thank you. But look, no. Okay, so I was gonna say let's do a Christmas carol, but the Spirit just redirected me.
Okay, come on.
So let's find one of your favorite hymns. I'm gonna look up the lyrics, and we're gonna try to do something. Now we ain't singers. This is our disclaimer, but we just want to have some fun doing this.
I wasn't ready for this.
Okay, what's one of your favorite?
Person
Hey, we just having fun, really. Okay, go ahead.
I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. No tender voice like thine can peace afford. And then you sing the refrain. I need thee, oh.
Oh, okay. I need thee. Help us out, Andre. Every hour. I need thee. I can't hear you.
Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come to deep.
Listen here, it's all about spreading love. So seriously, hopefully that touched
Go
your
get
all's
it.
heart. Hope you all laughed, whatever the case may be. But it's really from our heart to yours. We'll be right back. Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmauriceclark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye. We're back. You ain't went nowhere. Look, he laughing. You ain't went nowhere.
Oh
Are you
boy.
enjoying yourself?
Yes,
Seriously,
I am.
I'm enjoying myself. Thank you for this moment. For real, for real, for
I'm
real, for real, for real,
honored.
for real.
I'm honored and humbled.
Don't make me get emotional.
I came with you, Eric. Honestly, just seeing those in front of me. You know, I always when I saw Ethel directing, I wanted to direct. When I saw Sil playing, I wanted to learn how to play. So I learned how to do both. I didn't, I guess you learn as people give the opportunity. And I went to music school.
Really? Well,
And
don't speed past there now.
yeah,
What music school did you
it
go
was
to?
called Melody Way Music School.
Really?
Daisy Robinson, she was out of Christ Universal Church, was right here on 86 in Stony Island back in the day.
Christ Universal on 86.
She Christ Universal is the church my music teacher was from. The music school was on 86 in Stony back in the day on the 70s. Wow, I'm dating myself here. Yes. This great come with a price. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, so that's where that came from. And then other artists awakened other kinds of things in me musically. So it just kind of took me some other places too, past just playing and singing. Yeah. 1978,
what church was that?
I was still in my home church, Wesley Chapel. Sylvester had moved on, and he told me, "It's on you now." And so I had to. I'm like 13 years old, teaching people that's old enough to be my parents. So I had to earn the respect, because I was, when you little and now you in charge, it's like, yeah, really. So they gave me my stripes, and I learned learned how to teach and train and that kind of thing. So I got some good training.
Okay.
The people will learn you. They'll teach you. So I graduated in 1982. Okay. Eric is just really putting me out here bad, y'all. Y'all hear this?
I was born in 84.
He was born in 84. Just make me feel good. No. So I graduated in 82. So I came along during the 80s music. So the Tommies had just turned over again with Darius and Tyrone. That generation of Tommies had came into play. Cosmopolitan had just almost signed with Savoy, so they were kicking. And in the Florida Mass and it's in the Georgia Mass, those choirs were kicking. So I was teaching choir music.
You're talking good.
That was choir music era. This was even before there was a James Hall and a Ricky Dillard. So we were experiencing those ministries. LA, the Los Angeles Messengers came a little later, but Southern Cal institutional. Those choirs were leading choirs of this country, and so that music was hitting, and that's what I was teaching.
Wow. I want to know, like, okay, so outside of Wesley Chapel, like, did you get involved with any aggregations? Like, let's talk about this.
I did. The first community choir I joined was James Chambers in Ecclesiastes. I was a member there for about 5 years, right up until it turned into, he started what's called the ECC Music Workshop, which eventually turned into what we now call Chicago Mass. So I was a part of that whole beginning, and I sang with James and traveled with him for a number of years. I learned a lot from him, a whole lot. He was really, really good with business, and he knew about connecting people and making things happen. He was just really, really, really influential. the Ecclesiastes Community Choir was in existence, and then James had a vision of doing a citywide workshop on par with the Gospel Music Workshop.
Okay.
It would just be Chicago, and it went over so well. They did a recording, and then they wanted to stay together, and then it turned into Chicago Mass. So that's how Chicago Mass got started out of the Ecclesiastes Community Choir.
Wow. So you was there? Were you there during the days? Like, were you? Did you remember when Steve did Good News?
Yeah.
Were you on that album?
I was on that album.
It was Stanley Pearson.
Stan
too.
Pearson.
Oh,
Stan Pearson was just here for my birthday musical back in August. Yes,
we love you. We love you.
We love you, Stan. Puff. I was there before Steve came to Chicago.
Oh, really?
I remember when he moved from Ben Harbor.
Ben Harbor. Okay, okay.
I was in the choir when he got there.
Yeah. Yep. So talk about holiday season with the choir with James Chambers. Like, how did he?
Oh man, so they were good for caroling.
Really?
You know, James was gonna have you out. We was singing places and going to the prisons, and we sang on the Oprah Winfrey Show with Earth, Wind, and Fire and Patty. I mean, James. That's what I'm saying. He had connections, and he knew how to really network and make things happen and get them on certain kind of platforms. So, but for Christmas, we went caroling, and they went out and did things like that. So that was something different.
To like share something to Gospel Diaries that will be encouraging for this season at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the season right now of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I think that I'm going to go with something Eric said. We have to embrace and capture every moment that God allows, because we just don't know when God is going to make other decisions that we have no control over. So when we sing the song, every day is a day of Thanksgiving, live life to the fullest. Each day is a gift from God. Some of my folk know where I'm getting this from. And embrace it and be thankful for every moment. Your loved ones, hold on to them and love them and enjoy life each day.
Yeah. And you know what? Please forgive me, you all. I know you all see all of these episodes. We have coffee mugs. We're drinking coffee, hot cocoa. And I know you probably thinking like, we don't know what's in the cup. You could have some Jack Daniels or whatever, regardless. You know, I'm so sorry that we don't have cups right now. So I'll just ask you to take a sip of whatever you're drinking out of love for us in absence
gotta love them.
Of our cups. All right, so, and we'll be right back. We're going to play some music by Ramon Perry and his wonderful choir. Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmauriceclark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye. All right, Gospel Diaries, welcome back. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the music ministry from Ramon Perry. Man, he is truly a jewel in Chicago, and I'm glad. Man, I'm trying not to. Why am I getting emotional right now? Man, I just really want him to know that we love you, man.
Well, let me say this, Eric. You have really put a footprint in the earth yourself.
Mm,
And many of
mm.
us are so godly proud of what you're doing. Your platform will reach generations that for decades to come, for some people that I might miss.
Mm,
And everybody has, the Lord has given us all some people to reach.
mm.
And we're godly proud of what
Yeah.
you're doing. You represent Chicago well while you're over there
Phoenix.
in Phoenix.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's talk about the origins of your choir. I do want to give a story here, man. I remember my friend Cornelius. God no, that was a childhood friend. Me, Nate, well, we used to call him Dwayne. He used to go by his middle name. So, but anyway, Pastor Knox, we're
Pastor,
so proud of you.
yes.
But she was dear to us, and I remember she told both of us. She was like, I think she was getting sick at that time, or her mom was something was going on, and she wanted an activity. And I can't remember how she found your choir, but I remember when she told us that she found your choir and she joined your choir, and it really touched her heart. And what touched me more was when you actually recorded her, man, and you actually, you preserved her voice. So for that, I want to tell you thank you. So let's talk about the origins of your choir.
Well, the origins of the choir. So I used to work I was subcontract with Soft Sheen, and there was a guy that I worked with that said that he knew that I was in church and everything. He said, "Hey man, I need you to get some voices together. We're gonna pay y'all $800. We need y'all to sing some songs. We need y'all to have choir roles and blah 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 blah." I knew singers. I'm like, that's not a bad idea. $800. I
Mm-hmm.
think I can do that. So I got together some people. We rehearsed some songs, and we got ready to do the event, and come to find out it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody wanted to keep singing because
Mm-hmm.
we enjoyed the rehearsals and
Mm-hmm.
we just kept going. And then the Lord said go,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how that got started. And I
And what
gave
you
them.
know what year are we
It
talking?
should have been 96,
Okay.
96, somewhere
Okay.
there, 96,
Okay.
97. And so that's how we got started. We got started almost on a dare,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lord just continued to allow me to be encouraged to lead,
Mm-hmm.
and we just never stopped.
So let's talk about your role as the founder of the choir, the leader of the choir. Like, what do that all entails? Because you have people under you. You have people that you have to shepherd.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this. It's a calling. God literally has to call you to do it. And I would tell anybody, just because you direct good at your church choir, that don't mean you call to lead people. And you don't always know you call to lead until you get in it and the Lord show you that's what you're supposed to do. So you really end up being far more than a choir director and a teacher. Many times you end up being a pastor. You end up being sometimes a therapist, a confidant. I mean, I have had people that I have led that had a lot of things going on, but they were still faithful to the ministry. Let's talk about Cornell taking radiation and
Yes.
chemotherapy.
Yes.
So this was one of the members, and I'm just saying what I'm saying. She like literally never missed a beat,
Mm-hmm.
and she was taking radiation and therapy and was on time for every rehearsal. And then you got some folk, my toe hurt, I can't make
Yeah.
it. My third grandfather died, and my grandmother's coming in for China. I can't make it to rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
This one,
Mm-hmm.
chemo and therapy,
Mm-hmm.
chemo and radiation
Mm-hmm.
at every rehearsal. God assigns some folk to you that are just faithful.
Yeah.
And every leader has some people that they say, that's one I don't ever want to lose. But sometimes God want them back. I was a little kid coming up. They had me singing Going Up Yonder because I had the voice at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't know what that really meant.
Mm-hmm.
But I promise you,
Mm-hmm.
when you get older
Mm-hmm.
and life experiences
Mm-hmm.
catch you,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to minister and your motive going to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just give you a quick example.
Come on,
So there
somebody.
was a time when God Wants to Yes at first came out. I
Okay.
talked it to my choir.
Mm-hmm.
We were singing that all over the city and modulating. And the audience, we had the audience in the palm of our hand by the fourth modulation. Yes, yes. So one day God said, let's see if you're going to live it.
Mm.
When my mother got sick,
Mm-hmm.
my come what may moment came,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to lean and depend on him.
Mm.
And when he decided, I want her back,
Mm-hmm.
he asked, is it still yes?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to live it.
Yes.
And it wasn't about the modulations.
Mm-hmm.
It was about what that song meant to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I say, yes, it's still, it don't feel good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still yes. So God will give you an experience and the motive will be right then.
There was someone, they were talking about how earthly proud they are of you directing GMAT.
Oh wow,
And
that's
that is a task because those most of them are seniors. So you can't be as hard as as a youth choir with. Well, I don't know.
it. I'll tell you this: GMAC was is a whole nother level
Mm-hmm.
of being honored to serve with people that I saw on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop Larry Roberts,
Mm-hmm.
Loretta Oliver, Vernon Oliver Price. I mean, the legends. I mean, I didn't know they were legends in 1970 when I was looking at Jubilee Showcase. I just know these are the people I saw and I liked them. Never in a million years would I thought that I would be hands on with Dr. Ludella Evans Reed, affectionately called Mama Lou. I
Mm-hmm.
saw her on TV. I saw her at the broadcast. I thought that Ludella and Reggie and Michelle Brown and all I thought those people lived next door to God.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little boy, I'm like, oh my God. So now the Lord has put me in a place where these are people I work sit side by side with.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an honor and a privilege
Yeah.
to do that.
And not only that, not only are they legends, you're talking about
Oh, they're
pioneers.
pioneers.
Because gospel music emerged in the 30s, and most of them was born roughly right at 30 and either or late 20s. You know what I mean? And these are people that actually saw gospel music when they were to throw the hymn book at them. And you are singing with these, directing them.
Larry
And
Roberts.
that's one thing that touches me too. Like when I meet some of these people and they know who I am, like, oh my
Yeah,
joy
honestly.
that floods my soul. And just to see you up there, man, you are in your element.
It's the difference between being a flagger and a choir master.
Mm-hmm.
Because a real choir master is going to stand there and they're going to command a certain sound without doing a whole lot because they know what you want
Mm-hmm.
and you know how to get it from them. You know how to look at the musicians, and it's a certain communication that you have without saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the flow of music and when to make transitions, as opposed to, okay, I want them to go up now, or I want to just to do this now. Sometimes it's based on what the feel is. Sometimes you got to feel that house. No, they need to hear this one more time. We need to stick on this verse one more. And sometimes by the third time, you said the focal wiped out before you even got to the next transition.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us that play and direct and teach, we have a different concept of how a song flows other than just, I'm going to do this, 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 and it's out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different kind of vibe there.
Got you. So how do discipline looks like? Like say for instance, someone sing out of turn, or something. So I've seen some choir lyrics. You wasn't supposed to sing that note. So how do discipline looks through your eyes?
So it depends. You have to think about the setting and the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's a recording, that's a problem
Mm-hmm.
because that's not where we rehearse.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's morning service, sometimes the flow of God comes through that note that don't sound perfect, but it's perfect when it get to Him
Mm-hmm.
because of where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so we just smile, go, oh, sing so and so. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go on a paid engagement, you have to bring a different kind of energy. You know, and that doesn't mean that God is not at the forefront, but it's God and the people that came,
Yeah.
and they want something from you. So then there's certain things that can happen.
Segment, I do want to talk about your radio station. Let's talk about
That's just so crazy. I mean, we just never know what God is doing. So when I was little, probably right here in this very room, when I was younger, maybe in the seventh, sixth grade, I used to. We had what's called a hi-fi. That's the record player, the TV, all that was in one box. And I used to play records and hit play and record and announce them like I was on a DJ. I used to imitate Reverend Consuelo York, a guy named Josh from Redeeming Church of Christ, and Dennis Cole. I used to just imitate them and just try to do the announcements like them, never ever knowing that one day, not even musically related, I would be behind the desk doing interviews with people, you know. And so my monologue when I come on is a culmination of all those people that influenced me. Reverend Consuelo York and Dennis Cole and Josh from Redeeming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Christians and friends. You know, we trust and pray that this time with Jesus, you know, all of that comes from those shoulders that I stand on. So nonetheless, real quick, my choir was singing someplace. A guy walked up to me and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna start a radio station." I'm like, "Oh, okay, right." He said, "Here's my card." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, radio station, cool." I just released a single called "According to Your Faith." He called me, said, "Hey, I want you to come and debut your song on my station." I didn't know he was running the radio station from his basement at the time.
What's his name?
Reverend Franklin Morris.
Morris. Yep.
And so anyway, about a month later, I did the interview. He said, "You ready to do your show?" I'm like, "What?" And I came down to a studio and he showed me the equipment. The room was like no bigger than this right here. And I was like, wow, this can really happen. So I started doing the radio show. The Lord really progressed and we moved to another building. And then he asked me to be the president of the station. And the Lord has blessed us with two stellars for in their radio station of the year back to back. And a third nomination. My show's been nominated for the Spin Awards, Avidity Awards, and just the Lord has just been doing so many great things. And so we are WVTC Gospel Radio Network, and my show airs every Thursday night at 7. Go to Ramon Perry Live. We're on Facebook, YouTube. The Lord has just blessed us recently. We're now on Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, Google TV. It's just, God has blown my mind.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's from the yes. I don't know.
Now, what about the sister station? Or are they still?
Yeah, Detroit. Detroit. Sandy Rose is in Detroit. Absolutely. So the Lord has just done some things that He just blew my mind. Wow. It hasn't stopped yet.
And you're talking about awards. Like, look at this right here.
Yeah,
this
I wasn't
is from
expecting
the famed Christian Tabernacle.
I was in shock when I found out that I was going to get that award.
This is the Star Award. Do you know how many people received this award?
Yes.
Billy Preston. I don't want to start naming Albertina Walker. I mean, you call the road. Like, these people admired this award, and you are.
I'm honored.
Your name says Ramon Perry.
I am literally honored. When Elder Patterson called me and said, "Ramon, you're getting that award this year," I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, you get a letter. I'll call you back. I'm at the studio." He was on 1390 and he said, "I call you back." I was like, really?
Amazing.
Honored. All
right. So listen, we are still spreading love this Christmas season. We got one more segment. We'll be right back. Pick up the phone, text somebody, tell them you love them. You never know, that text just may be what someone needs to say, "Hey, I can make it today." Especially during the holiday season. So let's love on each other. All right, we'll be right back. Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmaurice.clark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye. We're back. Gospel Diaries. Man, emotions are all in this place. My mind thinks about a woman that sat on the organ. She wrote a beautiful song that somebody by the name of LaQuisha Campbell recorded with the Soul Children of Chicago. Oh, Lord, how excellent. And I think about her because I always wanted to meet her. I finally met her via phone. I interviewed her. and she talks so highly of this guy right here, Ramon Perry, and the things that he did to show her that he loves her. Like a lot of times we say we love people, but we put no action behind it. So now we're going to take the time to kind of embrace some of our some of the gospel artists that have passed away that was dear to you in the city of Chicago. So let's talk about Brenda.
Wow, Brenda Moore. What can I say about Brenda? Brenda played for my choir for probably about 25 years. And that's another example of somebody that is loyal and dedicated. Brenda had some health issues with her back, and she would come to rehearsal and engagements, and she would be in excruciating pain to the tune that we would have to carry her in. And I begged her not to come, and she would sit in the car until it was time for us to sing, and our tenors would have to go and get her and literally lift her and bring her and take her to the Hammond organ. That's loyalty beyond measure. And she was quite she was a writer. She was an awesome musician. She had a big heart, and she was a lot of fun. Anybody knows Brenda? She was Brenda Moore, and she is so missed in this time.
And she's really unsung. Her ability to play that organ was part excellent.
Yeah, she Brenda was a master of the Hammond B3. She was excellent on keyboards. And how I knew that, so you play. One time we was at a program sometime, and somebody broke out in some song, and it was in the key of A or B. If you really together, you can do it. Brenda went right up there and helped the guy. He was struggling, and the song was in A, natural. And she played it like, oh, it was nothing else to do today. He just needed some help. I would have been like, y'all got it. No, I'm just joking, but I loved her. She was so dedicated to my choir, and she penned a song that we call it "Oh Lord, How Excellent," but it's called "Perfect Praise."
Yeah.
And Brenda, that song went some places. Even in her later days, Kanye West sampled it,
yes.
and Brenda told me, she said, Ramon, I'm gonna just say this. She said that check, I never got a check that big. I said, how much? She said, I'm not telling you, but if I wanted a truck, I can go get it. I said, wow. Yeah. So she was hard.
And maybe we might get Andre. Matter of fact, Andre's sitting here. Andre Cunningham is sitting here, so we're probably gonna get him to sing it. So if he look up the lyrics, maybe he can sing some of this. But let's talk about Leonard Maddox.
Wow, Leonard Maddox. I met Leonard when I was about 12 years old. He was playing for his home church. I was playing for mine, and we grew up both in our churches. And years later, we were running each other's programs. And when I started my choir, Leonard started playing for me, and he played for me along with Brenda for about 20, 25 years, 26, up until his health
did
not.
A humble musician. I remember. Listen, these are my memories. I remember Christ Universe. Paul Hall, Bishop
Bishop Paul Hall.
That man would be over there killing that organ in that big old
over there on Ashland. Oh yeah, he be pumping the HB3. He would and grinning, so Leonard was that kind of guy. Where he loved to play. He wasn't arrogant, and when he played something and he knew he hit a real good chord, he would look like we would just. That was his heart. He wasn't arrogant in the grand. He was a little brother to me. Leonard was the kind of guy that one time his wife and kids gonna laugh at this one. I got locked out the house, and I was trying to get it in this house. I couldn't get in. How did Linda Maddox get in my house in 5 minutes? 5 minutes, he was in the door. He said, "I'm on my way, Ramon." I said, "Linda, I'm locked out." I think we had left rehearsal or something, and I have been fumbling trying to get I could not get in this door. I left the keys or something. Linda did something and was in the house in 5 minutes. I said, "Wait a minute." That was my brother. He is dearly missed.
I do. Last but not least, I do want to talk about Lavelle Lacey. And Lavelle, he did a magnificent job to kind of pull in the musicians in the city and give them a space where they can fellowship. And those were jewel meetings, and we really missed those. But I just want to pay homage to the spirit of Lavelle Lacey as well.
Lavelle was probably one of the greatest writers and arrangers that we have that we had, and he imparted so much. He did something that many weren't able to accomplish, was to pull the entire gospel community
Yeah.
together, not just musicians, but
Yeah.
pastors and
Yeah.
radio announcers every month
Yeah.
at Looms.
Yeah.
I didn't like Looms food. I'm so sorry. It didn't do anything for me, but I would go because Lavelle, and I did get a salad or something.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying he was able to do that. As a matter of fact, G Mac just did one of his arrangements the other night, More and More Like Jesus.
Mhm.
He rearranged it. Lavelle was an arranger, he was a writer, he was a musician extraordinaire, and he was literally a gift to the kingdom. Another one we missed
Wow.
from this
So
plan.
this is how we're gonna have fun. I want you to give me at least two of your favorite albums by Cosmo.
Okay, that's gonna be easy. Um, my favorite albums. Okay, my favorite album is the one Albertina did in
You
1976.
remember that
That's
Penny
that
was on there?
Benny.
No, Penny.
Oh, Pen. Oh yeah, she was
Yeah,
a teenager.
Michelle.
That one.
Yes.
That was
Okay.
my favorite.
Yeah.
My next favorite is going to be probably Heaven Is My Goal, and the
Okay.
next one is the one with Every Time I Feel the Spirit.
Okay.
Those are my
Okay.
favorite.
I can see it.
See,
I
it's
can see
everybody
it.
got an era. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So this new generation, they were like, what?
I can.
I'm from that era,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So yes, and trust me, they are literally
You
not to be.
missed one
No,
though with
listen,
the oh wonderful child
let
and
me
make
no
you
no,
back.
but that's
Okay.
the one.
Wait, no,
That's what.
I thought every time I feel the
Every
spirit,
time
and
I feel the
Jesus,
spirit, that's
and
what I
Jesus
meant.
can
That's
work it
what I
out.
meant. Every
Okay.
time I feel the
Okay.
spirit, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
When Diane sang twice in the
Yeah.
album cover, fold
Yeah,
unfold,
yes.
that one.
The picture of
Yeah, the
everybody.
picture everybody
Yes.
come out. Yeah,
Dennis is on there. Yeah. Sharon Charles is
Sharon
on there.
Childs.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
man, Sharon.
That's a good album. Actually, they did a Henry Jackson number on that one. I think it was it Save?
Is he satisfied with
Yeah,
me?
is he satisfied?
Mm.
We love you, Dr. Henry Jackson.
He is a writer extraordinaire, a living legend.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's go to New G.
Oh wow! So whatever that album is, it one more chance, and
Oh,
I've
you like
got the
that live in
victory.
Toronto? You like that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go all the way back to with my chin.
Stop it. That was the title track.
Okay, so that those three are my favorite.
Okay, okay.
And I know they
Okay.
see when you say cosmopolitan and New G in the same sentence, it's really almost one and the same
Yeah, yeah.
because New G is a community choir replica of Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Order, they're going to sing you down on their worst day.
Yeah.
At 4 a.m, they're going to beat you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just pull the covers and go to sleep. Because Cosmo is going to hit you. New G is going to beat you. Today.
Can I share mine? Now, I'm torn in between some of them. I'll give you three. So most certainly, the Black album. It was the No Limit, right?
Oh yeah.
With the there is death for no condemnation, and God's will is what I want. That's right. That one, and then see, I'm torn between Hallelujah. I'll go ahead and say Hallelujah because Robin did everything. Where could I go? Like, I won't give up. It's really hard.
It's really hard.
That's two. And then if I had to get another one, Blue G. Perhaps Live in Toronto. That was a good album. That was a good album. It really was. I really like
that. It's really hard with them because they consistently just hit after hit after hit after hit. It's like, well, which one? You know, it's like, which one are we gonna do?
Yeah. Well, Dr. Perry, I have enjoyed myself.
Oh man, I'm honored. I'm really honored that you thought to add me to Gospel Diaries, and we play your commercial on our show. And again, Eric, you will affect generations to come with what you do. And we are godly proud of you here in the city of Chicago. Are you coming? Are you going to ever move back to Chicago?
I can't speak for the future, but at the current, no.
Well, I ain't gonna ask you in November when it's getting ready to get cold. I'll holler at you in July.
I miss the culture of Chicago. Like I always say that in Phoenix, I'm culturally deprived, but I miss church. Like church is like it means so much to me. Like I'm addicted to the church culture. I'm addicted to Black church culture. It does something for me, and I miss it. I really do miss it. Ain't no church like Black culture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you share with me one of your most memorable moments that you did for Gospel Diaries? One that you probably won't forget. Maybe something that happened that you didn't expect, or something that caught you off guard that just impacted you.
Well, honestly, I keep saying it's so many, but I think Esther Smith, for some reason, like I just feel like we connected, and like just hearing her story. Like I read her book before, and like that's actually my godmom
Oh,
right now,
okay.
and she's a jewel. Like, and just I know it caught me off guard because I was writing an article on Queenie, and so I was looking up her mom, and I found out about the Lockhart singers. And then I seen Little Esther or whatever, and then I kind of put one and two. I'm like, I wonder if she's still alive. And lo and behold, she was still alive, and I reached out to her, and then we just got connected.
And on the floor, that will, under the power of God. And so when I walked in the door, it was like, you know, I liked it.
Right.
So I walked up to the front of the church. Mother Lockhart, if I remember, was standing over by the piano. And she began to witness to me, and she was telling me how much the Lord loved me. And make a long story short, when she got through telling me how much he loved me and what he had died for me, it was like in my little heart, because I was 8, I felt like, dog, if he can do all that for me, then I guess I can live for him.
So I think that's like one.
That's
That
one.
is a memorable moment. Just being with Esther Smith in Detroit, because that same night, that same day, it rained like cats and dogs. And that same day, I left there and I went to Sandy Rose studio.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's when I interviewed her and Larry. Yeah,
Right,
and,
right.
And it was raining like cats and dogs that day. And then when I went back, yes, that is the fact. Because when I went back to interview Twinkie, she was like, "I'm so sorry. You're gonna think that it's just rain every time you come." Because every time I come to Detroit, it be raining. What about you? Do it be raining when you go to Detroit?
Not that I can remember. I remember one time I went. I think I went for a Whitfield concert and it was raining cats and dogs. But most times it's not.
It rains hard in Detroit.
One more for you. I got to get you. I got to take advantage while I got them. So, one of your most memorable concerts or recordings?
To be honest,
that you were at.
That I was at. Okay, Ricky Diller Live Unplugged. Man, I remember. Can I please? I'll tell you about this.
I'm listening. I want to tell you.
So I knew the concert was going on, and at this time, you remember Derek Williams from the West Side? He had the sound company called D Natural.
Right.
So
wow.
like him and my dad, we were close because my dad did videos and stuff. So I was like, I just need to get to this concert. I just needed to get there. I was like, finally, I'm gonna go to a new G recording, and I got in by way of Derek. I was like, I'm with D Natural.
Oh, wow.
So I went up there on the balcony, and I just really enjoyed that concert. Everything about, and then that same day, and I hate this because I had a camera. I took so many pictures. I had took a picture with LaShawn Pace because she did There Is No Way on that album, and then at that time, that was the time that because I used to go to Albertina. Man, you gonna make me cry, bro. I love these people so much. I used to go to Albertina Walker's her service. No, Dolores Barrett Campbell's her birthday service every year, and Albertina Walker was the guest. Every year, I would be there. I would write notes about the morning. I just wanted to go, and so I took a picture of Albertina Walker, and that day I had it printed out, and she was in a wheelchair, and I walked up to her and she signed it for me. That was dope, bro. Yeah, that was a good. That was a good.
Wow. Yeah. You're talking about signing albums. I would look over there in that stack of albums. I have I think The Heaven Is My Goal.
Yeah.
Alan signed it for me.
Really?
And I thought I was in Hollywood or something like that. But I don't think that no more. But he gonna get me for that one. But I do appreciate, man, this has been a blessing.
Yeah.
A plug out, listen, go download Ramon Perry Search Me Lord, the Ministry and Praise. Yeah. That's one of the latest things that we've done. I love my choir. They've done some great things. We don't do as much. We're a little older. We done passed the torch on, but
96, right?
96, yeah.
So going 28 years?
Going on 30 years, yeah. But it's been a good ride. I'm grateful for all that God has done and every place He has allowed me to go. And even this moment, and I'm cherishing this moment with you.
Yeah. Shake your hand.
All right,
And as I always say, it'll never get old to me because I truly believe this. Love on someone, I promise you that love will change somebody's life. And we'll see you later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.